Hey, fish friends, and welcome to the very first episode of the Love Your Ocean podcast. I am Taylor, a shark educator with Zen4Blue.
And I'm Cass. I'm the manager of education with Zen4Blue. You might also know me as Cass Annual Adventures on Instagram, where I talk a lot about ethical wildlife travel and misunderstood species.
Yeah, and we're both a part of Zen4Blue, which is a nonprofit organization. We focus on ocean education, conservation, and making real world impact. And today we are starting off with a big question, and that is, why should we care about the lionfish? And are they actually the problem?
Very good question. But first, quick experiment here. When you hear the word lionfish, what is the first word that pops into your mind? Is it beautiful, invasive, dangerous, venomous? Just pick one. Don't overthink it. Go ahead and write that word down. Because here's the thing, whatever word you picked, there's a good chance it's not actually about the lionfish, but it's about the story we've been told about it.
Exactly, yes. And hold on to that word because we will be coming back to that at the end of the podcast.
So, why this podcast? Well, it really comes down to one question. Why should we care? Why should we care about the ocean, the species that are in it, the system that keeps this planet running? As a zoologist and a conservation communicator, here are some things I've learned. Science alone does not change behavior, but connection does. So people don't protect what they don't understand, and they definitely don't protect what they feel disconnected from.
Yeah, I love that. And that's exactly what this show is about and what we're trying to do for you guys. Each episode will actually be taking a look at a new species, and we'll be breaking it down by what people think about them, what's actually true, why it matters and why they're important to the ecosystems in the ocean, and then what can you do about it. So yeah, and this is where this topic becomes really real for Cass and I, because actually this month we will be, through Zen4Blue, going to Belize to work with the marine ecosystems.
Which I am so excited about. I worked in Belize for a little bit, and to return back, like, the marine life and the ocean, like, it's just so beautiful there. Lionfish are actually going to be a really big part of our experience in Belize.
I'm so excited. It will be my first time going to Belize, but Cass has spoke very highly of it, and I already know it's going to be beautiful. But yeah, we're going to be in the water directly around reef systems. And like Cass said, lionfish, we're definitely expecting to see them when we're down there. And what's interesting about them is they aren't bad animals. In their native environments, like the Indo-Pacific, they're actually really important to the ecosystems there.
And in those ecosystems, they fit into the food web naturally. They have predators, they have competition. Everything in that ecosystem is balanced, right? But here in the Atlantic, including places like where we're going in Belize, they're introduced by humans, most likely through the aquarium trade. So it's really important distinction that this is a human caused problem. They're doing exactly what they're designed to do, survive. And once they were released, there is nothing keeping that balance in place anymore. So now, in many of these reef systems in the Atlantic, managing lionfish populations is actually a key part of protecting the reef.
Yeah, it's very, very important. And it's crazy how fast all this happened. In just a few decades, actually, lionfish spread across most of the Atlantic and Caribbean, which for an ocean
A
species,
few decades is crazy, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And for an ocean species, that's insanely fast. The ocean's very big, and that's something that we're actually going to be seeing and experiencing firsthand. So this isn't just something we're talking about, it's something that we're actively going to be a part of later this April.
Mhm. So, what is the problem that lionfish are facing? Well, there isn't a problem, and that's the problem because That's kind of the point. Lionfish aren't villains. They're doing exactly what they've been evolved to do, just in the ecosystem that wasn't built for them. Honestly, they're not struggling at all. They're thriving, but in the wrong places. So, quick fact that I looked up when going to talk about this podcast today is that a single lionfish can actually eat 20 fish in 30 minutes.
20.
Yes. That's almost a fish a minute.
Yeah, that's insane. That's not even a snack at that point. That's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and they're just having at it. So yeah, these guys are not just pretty; they're ridiculously efficient predators. And biologically, it's kind of ironic. You know, they actually use those big, flowy fins to corner their prey, and then gulp the whole fish gone. So they can swallow their prey almost whole. Sometimes actually lionfish will flare their fins and use water movement to confuse the prey. So it's almost like they're working as a team, except the team ends up being just them and they win.
It's really cool until you realize that the ecosystem did not sign up for this. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a part that can be super uncomfortable, is because it's not a lionfish problem, it's a human one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like we talked about before, they've moved into the Atlantic, and these native fish over there, guys, they don't see lionfish as a threat. So instead of swimming away, they just hang out there. Like, hey guys, what's going on? And that's what makes the lionfish even better at hunting. Makes it easier for them.
Mhm. I mean, they don't even look like a threat when you think about it. You guys can see like
So
the
pretty.
pictures behind us. They're so beautiful. I mean, they're slow and graceful. They look almost decorative.
Yeah.
And it's basically the worst possible combination if you're a small fish. But it even gets worse from there. They reproduce constantly. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of eggs every few days. Let me just say that again, tens of thousands of eggs every few days. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's literally crazy. Um, so now you've not only got a super efficient predator, but now these guys are making thousands of babies in the ecosystem that was not prepared for them and has no idea how to deal with it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's how you end up with total imbalance. I mean, just wiping out native fish species, disrupting the reefs, and basically just trying to rewrite the rules of the ecosystem's function. It's a really, really bad situation you get.
Quick break to show you our sponsor, 828 Charters, proud supporters of Zen4Blue. Looking to experience the Gulf like never before? 828 Charters offers unforgettable private boat tours in Madeira Beach, Florida, from dolphin sightings to sunset cruises. Every trip helps support ocean conservation efforts and organizations like Zen4Blue. Book your trip today at 828charters.com. You know, you guys might be listening to all this, think it's really cool fun facts, but you might be like, why should we care? Well, this is why you should care, because you know, coral reefs, they aren't just pretty underwater scenery. They're basically the ocean's version of a city, of a major city. In fact, we're talking housing, jobs, security, the whole shebang. Reefs support entire ecosystems and millions of people. That's right, people. Fisheries, that food's on people's plates. That's what we're eating. Tourism, that's entire economies built on people wanting to see colorful fish and crystal clear water. And then there's coastal protection, which is wildly underrated, in my opinion. Reefs act like natural breakwalls, so they absorb wave energy, protecting shorelines from storms, erosion, even hurricanes, guys.
That's so cool.
They're very powerful.
Yeah, that's really cool thinking about reefs absorbing wave energy.
Yeah.
It's amazing, like how everything kind of fits in and has its own role you don't even think about sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that is where like the reefs specifically start to decline. The fish populations are going to drop, jobs disappear, coastal lines are going to become even more vulnerable. It's not just an ocean problem, it's a people problem. And so yeah, this isn't just about fish.
Not. No, not at all. It's about food, livelihoods, and protecting entire communities, both in and out of the ocean.
And when we frame species like lionfish as the enemy, we miss the bigger picture here, which is how our actions ripple into entire ecosystems. So now we've kind of talked about why care, but what's actually being done about it? So what's being done is there's lots of lionfish removal programs, like target conservation efforts, education, like what Zen4Blue is doing, us talking about this right now, encouraging people to safely harvest lionfish as seafood. That definitely helps control populations as well. But what can we do?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, you know, first up, if you can, support lionfish removal efforts. You can do that in many ways. By first step, watching this podcast, you're already there, but you can also quick Google search and you're going to see there's a lot of places that do lionfish removal efforts. Another way is to choose sustainable seafood. So including lionfish, you can eat them. So where you can find it, definitely do that. And support conservation organizations like Zen4Blue that are actively working on reef restoration and management. Like Cassie and I will probably talk about this a lot throughout the series of the podcast, but we want you to try your best to learn before judging, because understanding why lionfish are a problem, almost even more importantly, how humans played a role in that, is where the real change starts.
And if you want to take it like a step further on how you can get involved, you can always volunteer with different local organizations nearby. Um, if you have the means to, which I know in this economy is really hard, but you can always donate. Even not even just donating though, but like supporting different organizations that are following along with them and supporting them through subscribing to podcasts, following, liking their accounts. I mean, staying connected with the work that they're doing is actually a lot bigger impact than you think it would be. And the more people who are informed and engaged, that's when we can actually make a change together.
Yeah, exactly. So well, guys, that was the end of our first podcast. If there's one thing we hope you take away from this episode, it's that lionfish are not the villains. They're just a reminder. That's a reminder that ecosystems are delicate and that human actions have very big consequences. But also a reminder that we can step in and help restore that balance if we need to.
Mhm. And just to pause before labeling a species as good or bad, most of the time, it's not that simple. So before we go, let's go ahead and get back to that one word we asked you at the beginning of the episode. So that first word that came to mind when you heard the lionfish and you wrote it down. Okay, now I want you to think lionfish. What is the next word that comes to mind? Has it changed at all? Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's gone from dangerous to important, or invasive to impactful, or strange to interesting, or interesting to strange, whatever it may be. Go ahead and write those two words down because we would love to see that in the comments below.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely would. And even if it changed a little bit, that matters. Those small shifts in how we think is where conservation starts, guys.
So, thank you so much for being here, learning with us, and being part of this community. We can't wait to continue this podcast with you guys. And don't forget to
Love
love
your
your
ocean.
ocean.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow us along on social media. You can find us at Zen4Blue and follow along with everything we're doing there. Plus, check out our personal pages too. You can also head over to the Zen4Blue website to learn more about what we do and all the different ways that you can get involved. We seriously have so many fun opportunities for anyone interested in marine conservation, whether that's events, volunteering, education, or getting hands-on experience. So definitely check that out. And of course, a huge thank you to all of our sponsors listed below for helping make this possible. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next one.